Welcome, and this will be an introduction video to my channel. I just want to quickly talk about why I have this channel, what kind of information you will be getting about knives and related stuff in my channel, what kind of knives I like, why I like those knives, who am I in general. A lot of personal stuff, a lot of feelings. Not gonna specifically talk about those knives. Those are just examples of different types of knives which I like, and why I like them, why I use them. I'll talk quickly about it. So let's go ahead first with channel introduction. So I was lucky to get a knife shopping name for this channel, and I'm first of all, yeah, it's a good name. And in the videos I will be talking a lot about experience of getting the knife. So how you shop for this? Yeah, of course, sometimes you get knives presented, you might find something, you might inherit knives, that's fine. But for you to make a good choice for the knife which you want to buy, I'll be sharing a lot of information which can help you make this decision to buy a specific knife or not to buy the knife. I will not be selling knives. I will not be like pretty much I will not be trying to monetize a lot on this information. That's another purpose for this channel, is to have more or less like information storage about those knives which I have for later, for down the road, for history, for in general. That's of course very ambitious, but mostly for myself and for my family, as well for my friends. Like, what's the real value of those knives? How do you use them? And third thing which I want to highlight with my knife stories, my knife reviews, I should say, is the history behind those knives. Why those knives are made as we see them at the moment. And those are very good examples here on the table, which illustrate that kind of stories. Of course, big kitchen knife, that's a good one. The review's coming, you'll see it on the channel, because I like to cook and I have a few pretty good cooking knives, kitchen knives. I will talk a little bit more about them as we go, so I'll just remove this from view. We'll talk about it later. I really like some kind of like a historical knives, but of course I am not buying any real ancient knife. That's gonna be very expensive, and that's for the different type of collectors. This is like a replica, right? So this one and this one is a replica of historical designs of the knife. So this one's, for example, Spanish navaja, the old style Spanish navaja. They, of course, if you get it to Spain, or if you see all different collectors options or souvenir options, they will be more curved, different shapes of blades. So this one is a modern replica of old Spanish navaja style with the old style lock in here. So I didn't film a video about navajas in general yet. I will film it, and this will be one of the featured knives in there. I have a bunch of those. Again, this is the example of what I really like, because there's so much history behind that design, behind just the knife itself and navaja influence in general. So that's something which will be quite interesting video to film with a lot of information. Another similar example is like this knife. I did film a review on this knife. The Rasolino knife from Sicily, made not in Sicily, it made in Italy, of course. But again, another example of a very good modern design replica of historical knife from specific region. That's what I really like in knives, because you're not just getting the design, you're getting a lot of history, and sometimes even a lot of technology behind just one very nice piece of gear. Couple of samples of knives from different regions, from a different um, areas in the world. So, for example, what the hell is that? Also quite rare to find information about those kind of knives in American or English speaking side of YouTube. That's actually because it's a Russian regional Yakutian style knife with a wooden handle and this fuller, which is kind of hammered. Um, Again, I didn't film review on that yet. When I will be doing this, I will talk about the history of this knife design, where it's coming from, why is it this way. That's for you, more like a teaser. So, and then finally, not finally, just a couple more examples. Let me clear the table from the knives which I had initially. I do like different construction styles and execution of the knives. This is one of the examples of a pretty good and interesting. It's like a hunting knife from Russia as well, actually from the same maker as the Yakutian knife. But when I will be talking about this knife, we'll talk about different layers of Damascus and the core steel in here, and sides of a Damascus, and the construction of a knife. Again, another example of really nice traditional way of making the knives. So a couple other things to add just in general. Yes, I am kind of like a knife collector. I do like knives. I have a bunch of modern knives as well. I like modern knives with a good technology. It's one of the examples, titanium frame locks, but I'm not focusing on reviewing those knives. There's a lot of information in, again, American and English speaking side of knife channels in YouTube, which have way more accurate and up-to-date information about modern EDC knives, modern custom knives. I'm not into that, so there will be some information there, but mostly from my personal point of view. And maybe you'll see some of those videos, you'll understand why I'm kind of excited and interested in particular modern designs. I am not into tactical knives. I do have a few. I bought them because, again, as I was traveling, I needed to have a knife from the specific region, from a specific location. So this is one of the examples again of tactical knife, which I'm not a big fan of, but I gotta have it because in my experience, I did visit many countries. I did visit all the continents, more than 30 countries. I have way more than 100 knives in my collections from all of those countries, from different regions. If it gotta be something like which is out of the historical scope for a specific knife for that region, I'll just get whatever it's commonly available. For example, I have this knife from Australia. I have Glock knife from Austria. As a tactical ones, I have a few, maybe something like this. If you know, that's not even like a tactical knife, it's a bayonet. Also, I'm not super into military stuff. I like it, but I don't collect. I don't buy military style knives, military like good looking knives. This one is more like a heritage and historical for me, for my country, where I'm from. That's a status, that's a given thing, which you gotta know, you gotta like. And like back in Russia, you can't have this easily. You gotta have it as an exception, maybe illegally obtained, or you have those bayonets, AK-47, 74 bayonets, modified so they cannot be used as a reliable knife, either cut or with a softer steel. This one's, of course, in US you can get them. They're not probably made in Soviet Union, they probably made in Bulgaria, Romania, somewhere else, but still it's a pretty good sample of the heritage, why I like those things, and of course I keep that in a collection. And so that's pretty much it for the intro, just to give you an idea of how, what kind of interesting things I found when I was collecting knives. For example, what's the traditional American knife? So a lot of people may ask the question, what's the real American design? A lot of people will say, oh yeah, maybe it's a Buck 110 or Buck, like a Bowie knife. That would be another good example of traditional American design. Maybe a Ka-Bar knife, or more modern, of course, Spyderco would represent modern American design of the knives. But in reality, what I found is that first manufacturer in US which produced knives in the factory was located in Massachusetts. It was like called Green River Manufacturing. I'm actually in Massachusetts, with probably about an hour and a half drive to that location, to that historical place where the first American factory was, which was producing knives, cutlery, all kind of stuff like that. And this is the first American design for the knife. That's how it looked. Very simple thing. Full tank blade. Of course, it was one-sided sharpening. This is just a false blade here. Very simple handle, wooden, with 3 rivets, and it was very simple knife to manufacture. It was very reliable knife to use. That's why it became so popular, and a lot of stories behind it. But this specific one follows that design pattern, but in fact this knife is made in England. They kind of took the design and used that design to make knives even in England. I have modern replica of that traditional American design. I'll make a video about them. Just this one looks a little bit more fancier, so I just wanted to give it to you at the end of the video as kind of another hint, another teaser of what we will be talking on this channel. Again, thanks for watching. That's just an introductory information about what I like, what I will be doing about on those videos. It's not just a knife reviews, it's knife reviews with my personal experience of getting the knives, where, why, what was the price, how good is the knife for the price as well. Some of those knives which I have, they are sitting on a shelf. I have no idea how good they are. I have them for the collection. A lot of the knives which I will be filming, I am using. I will give you my honest opinion. Do I recommend those knives for the purchase? Where? Why? And maybe even it will help you save some money when you're gonna buy those knives. So that's it for today. Thank you, and hope you will like my videos.